Well, this is a Fox News alert. The pressure campaign on the president to remove himself from the ticket is reaching a fever pitch. We've been seeing it all day long. But now some top Democrats telling CNN they want this done by the end of the week.
The dam is breaking, Jake. Top Democratic leaders, former administration officials, current administration officials, major donors are all telling us privately, and now we're hearing it publicly, that they think that President Biden needs to step aside for the good of the party, for the good of the country.
This did not happen overnight. House Democrats, this is according to Politico, were this close to publishing a letter expressing their grave concerns about the president, but they held off. They held off after House leaders told them to wait for the numbers to confirm that their fears were justified. Well, now the numbers are in, and it's worse than Democrats could have imagined. CNN's latest poll has Trump winning by 6 points nationally. 6 points. And if that doesn't scream lights out for Joe, CNN's also reporting that 72% of Americans don't believe Biden's mentally fit to serve.
If you look at the polling now, compare it to what was pre-debate and compare it to what was 4 years ago, it's just not even on the same planet, Anderson. If you ask voters now, does Biden have the mental fitness, in fact, to be president? Those numbers are incredibly low. The percentage who say he does not have the mental fitness, look at this. 72% say he does not have the mental fitness in order to be president right now.
Take a look overall at the state of the race in our brand new poll. 49% Donald Trump, 43% Joe Biden. This is a 6-point lead, Dana, and this is unchanged since our last poll in April. Joe Biden's approval rating is down to 36% in this poll. That is his lowest approval rating of his entire presidency in CNN polling. His lowest number nearly 4 months out from the election. That's not welcome news for any incumbent.
Now, the Biden campaign's trying to put the brakes on it. You are looking at a fundraising email they sent out touting that while Biden's losing to Trump, yes, they are touting that he's losing to him by less than other Democratic replacements. But there's one problem. It turns out that is not even true. The new CNN poll has Newsom, Whitmer, Buttigieg, Kamala all polling better against Trump than Joe Biden. The floodgates are opening. The White House is holding an all-hands conference call at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon, as elected Democrats are now openly calling on Joe to drop out.
It has been apparent to me for some time, and the debates only reinforced it. Neither candidate is fit for president. We need a president that can unite America to realize our nation's unlimited potential. We deserve better. President Biden should withdraw from this race.
I hope that he will put country first. I know Trump would never do that, but that he will put country first and decide to step aside.
Those are elected Democrats, sitting lawmakers. And has anyone checked on Nancy Pelosi lately? Something's up. We saw her Sunday insisting that Joe Biden's the best man for the job, and Trump is really the one who has dementia.
My people are very much Biden, Kamala Harris, and this is an opportunity for Joe Biden to go out there and show he has the stamina and the rest. And by the way, while the press, and for some reason they don't, there are healthcare professionals who think that Trump has dementia, that his connection, his thoughts do not go together.
I'd love to meet those healthcare officials. They don't exist. But 3 days later, and in the wake of devastating poll numbers, she goes on NBC, this is Today, and she says this.
I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition? And so when people ask that question, it's completely legitimate of both candidates.
There's a lot we can say about Nancy Pelosi, but she is nothing if not precise and calculated. She chooses her words wisely, and this is a massive shift in messaging. This sounds like a coded hint to the party that the winds are shifting. And it's no coincidence that Biden hasn't even met with party leaders since the debate. Now whispers of a Kamala candidacy are growing louder.
I just think that Kamala is the person. It's the cleanest way. She's a seasoned campaigner now, 3.5 years of experience. And so I think people would be very, very excited. And
How would you feel if they worked around and tried to go around Kamala Harris because of her lack of high poll numbers and popularity and broadly based? Do you think it's hers to have if it is not his?
No. This party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris. We should do everything we can to bolster her, whether it's in second place or at the top of the ticket.
Well, maybe that's why Kamala is doing little to bolster Joe. Politico reports there are no plans for Harris to go on a Biden defense tour. That's according to aides. James Clyburn, who you just saw there, was the one who sealed the Democrat nomination for Joe Biden in 2020. But will he be the one to remove him from the ticket in 2024? Fox News contributor Mark Thiessen joins me now. Mark, you worked in the Bush White House. I worked in the Trump White House. We had a fair share of leaks in the Trump White House, but nothing like this. This torrent of leaks we've seen today. Is this indicative of something going on? The pressure's real?
Well, I think what's an indicative is they're panicking, but they're running around like chickens without a head. They don't have a solution to their problem because they can't remove Joe Biden. Because I mean, number one, they can't get past the Kamala Harris problem. The party of identity politics is not going to replace her. She's next in line. The party of identity politics is not going to click the first black woman vice president to the curb and replace her with a white male. So there's no Josh Shapiro, there's no Gavin Newsom. None of these guys are going to get the nomination over Kamala Harris, and she's less popular than he is. His RCP average is 39, hers is 36. And she probably doesn't want him to leave the ticket because if he wins, she becomes president because there's no way he's going to serve 4 years. So she's going to become, if she stays on the ticket, this ticket stays intact, she becomes president. The second problem they have is, what's the alternative? I mean, put aside if they could get past the Kamala Harris problem. Why is Joe Biden president right now? Because there was no other alternative in 2020. Everybody else failed. And so and Bernie Sanders was heading towards the nomination. And so they all panicked and said, OK, let's put old, moderate, genial Joe Biden on the ticket and he'll be our Trojan horse to get into the White House. There's no better field right now. And do you think Bernie Sanders is going to sit back and say, yeah, let's nominate Josh Harris, let's put a nice moderate on the ticket? The Democratic Socialists are going to try to nominate their own person. There's going to be a Democratic civil war if they release the ticket. Bernie Sanders might run again, or he might nominate AOC. The squad is going to want to have a say in this. This is the Democratic Party. It's not the party of Bill Clinton anymore. So I think there's a lot more complicated elements to this than simply saying let's put Joe Biden to the side and find somebody electable, because there isn't anybody.
Yeah, and you know what's so interesting to me is Joe Biden has yet to reach out, according to reporting, to governors. He'll do that tomorrow. Yet to reach out to Schumer. That's according to Alex Thompson. Yet to reach out to all these people. Pelosi. That's what Rachel Scott reported today. What's he doing? I mean, what's he doing? I only have a few moments here, but wouldn't you be calling allies? I know Trump would.
I'm sure he would, but he's not planning to do anything. And this is the other thing, Kayleigh, is that in our system, he has to agree to leave. He's got all the delegates pledged to him, so nobody can push him off if he doesn't go, and his family's not going to push him off. They're all grifters, and he's their gravy train. They're not going to want to let the gravy. Putting him out there was like elder abuse. They don't care about him. He's just their tool to stay on into power and keep the gravy train going.
Mark Thiessen, you're the best.